Welcome to Jamaica, the island of real bad man. Some real dog attitude, some real gang bang. No run for the fair, the garbage pan.
Welcome to True Island Stories. This is the Jamaican Butcher, Part 9. The Untold Stories of Natty Morgan. After Dr. Sadler's untimely execution, Natty lost the screw. He went on a rampage. The butcher of the Badlands had had his fill of flesh, yet it was as if he had a massive chronic damage to his cerebral cortex, that part of the brain more commonly known as the frontal lobe, which is responsible for cognitive skills, emotions, solving, memory, sexual behaviors. It's basically the control panel of our personalities. And Natty's was severely malfunctioned. There was this cognitive dissonance within his mental that he succumbed to, that led him to unleashing his wrath on innocent and guilty in society alike. One evening, Natty and three of his cronies commandeered a vehicle and shot the occupants and threw them in a cane field for the vermins to feed on their rotting cadaver. Natty didn't even bat an eyelid over the kill. To him, it was a righteous one. For the greater good, he said. Man have to eat, he said. With no care in the world if those people, a man and a woman, both in their early 30s, had children or families. Because in his world, a lion does not give a fuck about the concerns of a sheep. Natty and his crew robbed the liquor store in Spanish Town, St. Catherine successfully. The victims were compliant in handing over their loot. Natty and the crew left the store, got in their car and then drove off. Then Natty said to Wasp, "Yo, stop the car, stop the car." Wasp stopped the car suddenly and asked, "How I go on, my boss?" "Nothing," Natty said with his calm demeanor. "I forget something at the store, man. Just turn around and pull up real quick at the storefront and let me out right there, so." Wasp did as he was told, and Natty grabbed an ice pick from the door and ran back in the store. He came back running out in under a minute and jumped in the car and told us, "Drive, drive." Natty kept smiling in the car as blood dripped off his ice pick. But he never disclosed what he went back in the store for, and no one dared ask the debt dealer what had transpired. But among the robbery victims stood a brave woman. She ran out the second time Natty went back in the store and got the make and license plate of their vehicle and called the cops. The cops recognized the main perp by his description, and again because of this second trip in the store, he took off his mask unbeknownst to his colleagues. The cops quickly scrambled, setting up unanticipated ambush routes, hoping to snag the serial serpents. And in a gazillion chance, the cops hit the jackpot on Dyke Road when Natty and his crew ran right into a roadblock. Wasp shouted, "Blood clot, Natty, police! Yo, me go spin and take Portmore back road." Natty calmly responded, "If you turn around the car, are you first are dead? And of them if afraid of, and me. Yo, on a lock and load, I could take on them paper post hole ya. After them gun a big and freeway. Yo, when you see a station post hole police them there. Yo, what? Just keep the nigga upon 30 and creep up. And when me say gas, you just press gas. And the rest of the man them just open fire. Everything automatic. And remember what me say, you know. What me say about death. Who first dead, get longer rest. There were 2 police cars parked on the side of the road with about 6 cops. Natty loved his odds. The cops had handguns, 9mm, 38s, and shotguns. Natty's crew had all high-power weapons, M16s and AK. No way this was gonna be a fair fight. Upon reaching about 50 feet from the cops, one of the cops came out in the road with his arms raised, signaling to the cops to stop. Natty shot him right between his eyes. Even Natty's men were frightened. Natty was supposed to say gas, but he detoured from the plan. That was the nature of his unpredictability. That's what made him so dangerous. His cronies usually said this about him: if you try to study Natty, you will never graduate. The rest of the men in Natty's car had no choice but to open fire on the cops. The Dyke road in Portmore lit up. The cops dive off in different directions, taking cover from the barrage of high-power bullets coming their way. One police officer, though, braved the storm and managed to get off 2 rounds in Natty's car out of his shotgun, which fragmented and caught Natty in both his eyes. Natty and his men managed to escape, but Natty was sidelined for months, and he had to be nursed back to health, which he recovered fully in the end. That evening, though, they barely escaped with their lives, and that incident only served to widen the police dragnet for the solid in what brought forth one of the wickedest daring daylight shootout between Natty Morgan and his gang and police and the military personnel of Jamaica in the swampy badlands of Riverton City. And that story is coming up in the next episode, so be sure to look out for that in our next story on the True Island Story. We have come to the end of episode 9 of the Jamaican Butcher, the Untold Stories of Natty Morgan. Look out for number 10. It gets even better when we present the Swampland Shootout. Make sure you smash that like button, share, leave a comment below, and press that notification bell to be notified for more stories coming up soon.
I am Joy.
Pepper, you know the real G-thing, huh? How we grow up, sometime the road tough, side slow. Real patriots never buckle, never fall. How they get to run, that's why. Back from the boy, we don't do that. Boy, who no can't kill with joy, who no boy. Who from your soul don't know what wrong boy. Yo, and a man bust a shot him off a pack up and boat. Pointed pon him head back and boat. Pop off him strap on him friend him for door. None of that, no assumption. I saw the ground rough. Power, married to corruption. Criminal, bred from limited options. 10 generation. I see the said someone wanted man will live long. Name one. Things forever bury with not done. Name one. One good honest politician. Name one. Get a youth resilient. Back from the boy who no do that. Boy, who no can't kill with joy. Who no boy. Who from your soul don't know what wrong boy. Yo, a man better boy. And a man bust a shot him off a back up and boy. Pointed on him head back and boy. Pop off him strap on him friend him for door. None of that, you a man better. Things risky, with the misfit. Death rate fit the logistic. Chris, I want the biscuit. Eight of crackers with the whiskey. You're not listening. Crime live here, so it's not visiting. Visitors, careful, you know what the business is. Murder, plunder, pillaging. Oh, bloodshed in all the villages. You name it, you will live in it. Get rich, I do special delivery. Nightmare, tormented images. Vengeance, bloody cycle continuing, but know you seek that, but it's no revenge. Looking at the mirror, there is no different. Man, we're full of, hey, and we know we trends back from the boy who no do that. Boy, who no can't tell with joy, who no boy. Who from your soul don't know what wrong, boy. Yo, a man better. Any man bust no shot him off a back up and boy. Pointed on him head back and boy. Pop off him strap on him friend him for door. None of that, yo, a man better. No assumption, I saw the ground run. Power, married to corruption. Criminal, bred from limited options.
10 generation. Passing the said song, 110 man will live long. Name one, bring some fella, we know, name one. One honest politician, name one who. And get a youth resilient. Back from the boy, we not do that. Can't kill with your own back. Move from your soul, don't know where wrong go. Yo, a man better go. Any man bust a shot him off a pack up and go. Point it on him head back and go. Pop off him strap on him friend him do it. None of that to the top. Yo, you know the thing going on, suck a seat up a beat, you know. Hey man, take your time man. Boy, man. To them pepper.